we are actually live. Okay, it seems we are live now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Game Time session where we introduce, an exciting game on the gaming platform. Today, we have a very interesting guest, and this is a very, you guys know, we always bring you exciting games, so every game is exciting. But these guys actually requested, to launch on gaming, and they did that very fast. So that means that the founders are actually very interested in meeting you guys, our community, to having you guys test this game. So today we have our guys from Qudo Studios who are actually developing the game we'll be reviewing today. The Tribes is the name of the game, but I'll leave the introduction for them to do later on. But then just to set up some housekeeping rules and a little bit of intro. So we have a giveaway for this event, courtesy of the Kudo guys, but there's a catch, right? So we'll have a code which will be given out at the end of this session to prove that you are actually in this session, and that code will be given out first at the end of the AMA session, and once again at the end of the live play along, because we'll have a 30-minute AMA section, which is what we're streaming now on YouTube and X. But then we'll have a live game play along where you'd get to go over to the game and play along with Luca and whoever is on there. So make sure to stick to the end to get the code and also play along, test the game. Most importantly, I believe most of you are actually gamers, and get a feel of this game. And hopefully, if you get the code right, and you could be among the lucky winners who get to take home 3,000 GMRX, which would be shared equally across 5 lucky winners. All right, I'll give the guests of today the mic. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So yeah, I'm Diogo. Badilac is what the people call me for my nickname, so I can go from both ways. Badilac or Diogo is totally up to you. I'm the CMO of Qudo. Qudo, it is a gaming platform focused on indie games. We don't start the games, we just list good, interesting games that are powered by Qudo. And partnering with gaming, it made a lot of sense because they provide where we can store the games for our community to go there and play. But today we are here to show you guys one of our latest releases, if we could say it like this. It is called The Tribes, and I would love to know your opinion. I would love for you guys to try it out. We have been investing quite some time on it, and I think the most unique thing about the game, it's not gonna jump right at you in the beginnings, but once I explain it to you, I think you will find it really interesting. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here, and not only today, but we will also be on gaming hopefully for quite a while. So my DMs are open. You can DM me if you want to have any questions. I won't DM you, so if you see someone sending a message to you, it won't be me. But yeah, looking forward to see Luca playing it, and maybe I can provide some hints to all of you.
Yeah, sure. Looks good already. I mean, shooter games are actually my favorite types of games, and after soccer, football. But then let's dive into the specific features of this game, right? So we have most of our community is actually interested in having Web 2, Web 3 features in game. So do you mind sharing if you guys have any Web 3 or play to earn kind of features integrated in this game? It's not actually a requirement, but it's actually good to know right off the bat. It's a good to know kind of thing for our community. So what Web3 related features do you think are actually incorporated into this game?
Sure. So yeah, the tribe is quite complex. So the tribes, the same thing as all other 46 games that are listed on our platform, are integrated with the Qudo SDK. And the Qudo SDK enables both developers and players to be rewarded based on gameplay time, which means that You, as a player, while you are having fun playing a game, you're also accumulating tokens that you can use within the platform, either on the game that you are currently playing or on future games that you'll be playing. And on the other side, game developers will also receive tokens if their game is being active, and they can use it to hire gaming servers to improve their games, like gaming sound designers to the 3D artists, you name it. So this is one of the core features that we have. But on tribes in specific, there is also what we call IGAs, and IGAs are interoperable gaming assets. So we've been using NFT technology, but we really love NFT technology, but we don't actually love NFTs. If this makes sense. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is we don't like how it's been used, the NFT technology. I think it was too hyped before while it was not mature enough. That's why you saw some hype around um, images that were quite expensive but didn't have actual utility. And what we're trying to do on the tribes is the game itself. It is a shooter game, but doesn't have any, or right now it has a few hard coded weapons into the game itself. So the weapons are coming from the users itself or the developers that provide the weapons to the users, which gives a lot of room for creativity for players because we have a tool called Garage where you can design your own weapon and even add your own sounds and customize the attributes as you wish. So this is something unique that we have been developing, and since the weapons are integrated into the game through our SDK and not hard coded in the game itself, that same weapon that you created, it's not limited to the game that we developed. It can be used on other games that use our Qudo SDK and support, in this case, weapons. So you'll be able to use that weapon for a game A that's developed by us, for example, and on the game B that we have not developed whatsoever. So you can use that weapon on other games that support weapons. This is really interesting. Of course, I'm a bit biased, and it's really what we're being fine tuning to make that the weapon doesn't ruin the balance from one game to another. But it's being really fun, and the tribes is just the field for the creativity that users are gonna bring in. But the game itself is good and is really good, and I think you're gonna go over it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, remember when I told you that the tribes is actually a special game, and this is one thing that actually caught my eye, because that's also a similar concept. It's one of the tenets we're trying to push, over here at the gaming ecosystem, the concept of true ownership, right? Yes, NFT. I agree with you. NFT, the way saw it coming to the stage in 2021 was not actually the best of cases, although it has a real utility in art. But we saw the whole hype and everything just kind of take the eyeballs out of the whole narrative. But the main the key value proposition in NFTs is actually ownership. The idea that things can be owned on the blockchain, and this can also come in terms of transferability across platforms and possibly blockchains. So that is actually something we're actually pushing for, and we actually encourage gaming developers to incorporate into their games. And it's a good thing that you guys are actually looking in this direction, because we believe that this is the future, a future where gamers actually own assets and can be able to use them across platforms, right? Very interesting stuff. You guys go make sure to check out the assets, in the game, right? Try a few guns and all that, and just take a look at the concept, Vadi just talked about, currently. Now, moving on, let's talk about how you guys I'm gonna tell you guys, we actually, came across Vadi via a mutual, uh, blockchain gaming, community, because yes, something like that exists, and the industry is actually waxing stronger. We have a lot of key players and a lot of good, awesome developers putting clocking in hours, trying to make the concept of blockchain gaming come to life. So that is actually how this is actually a personal thing, but that's actually how we came across Vadi. But I'll let him, say, in terms of what actually made him approach gaming, right? And how, possibly in his own point of view, how he sees this collaboration between, Kudo Studios and, the gaming ecosystem actually evolving, for the foreseeable future.
Sure. So we got to know gaming through the BJ, so the Blockchain Game Alliance. We also then realized that you were also incubated by the Unicorn Factory here in Lisbon, and we are also based in Portugal. So we are based in Aveiro, more on the north side. And there, as I said before, we don't store the games. We just provide an SDK, and the developers can store the games where they want. And we did this because we we think that the game developers should be the ones deciding where they want to store their games, and we do should not restrict that. And we are always looking for the best alternatives on the market that they can store their games. Like if they are using Kudo, they will be automatically converting their game from a Web 2 game to a Web 3 game with other features. And there are certain marketplaces that kind of creates certain barriers for you to list a game if it has Web3 features. Although we optimize our SDK to be compliant with both Steam, Play Store, and App Store, but we need to restrict certain features of our SDK in order to go according to their guidelines. But with gaming, and we felt like it was a good match, and we started with our own game. So Tribes is the first one listed on GAIMIN, and you can already try it out. And I think it makes sense. It is also onboarding Web3 games, although it's not mandatory to be a Web3 game. I think it has a good principle. I think it's really interesting that you can provide your own GPUs if you're not using to even earn a few tokens. I think that's something interesting from the Web3 side. So you can kind of seem like you are mining your own tokens, kind of you get from the early stage of crypto where you wanted to build your miner rack to mine Bitcoin. In this case, you can mine gaming token while providing the storage and the GPU power for the games that are on the platform. So we thought it made sense. We thought it was worth a shot, and so far we don't have any complaints. Of course, we are still early using game. We're still early on the platform, so of course we are going to explore way more on the next weeks. But so far we are happy. The concept interested us, and maybe you're going to be adding more games in the future. Who knows?
Absolutely, absolutely, guys. We figured out that we had a lot, in common, with Kudo Studios, in terms of, the background, how we met, Unicorn Factory, BGA, but also in terms of the tenants, right? The things that they believe in, Web3 being the future. Most times, we get, pushback, from, Web2 platform. We see pushback, from Web2, platforms in terms of how gamers can, launch what type of games and what type of Web3 features. I mean, what sector of Web3 does not have a pushback? But what we have seen, and what we believe will happen is that, they'll come along, right? You see, a lot of industry, a lot of institutional, players now being receptive to the idea of blockchain. I mean, who would have thought of that 5 years ago, right? So, and that's why it's important that we keep building so far as we understand the importance and the utility of the technologies that we're actually trying to introduce the world to. We'll keep building, and definitely the world will come along. And that's actually what we believe in here at gaming, and why we actually look towards working with game studios, gaming partners who actually also hold these values as well. And yeah, so let's talk about the community, right? How, can you give us a feel of what, it feels like being in the Kudo, ecosystem, in the Kudo space? How do you guys actually, like, how big are you guys on community? How do you reward loyal players and community members?
So yeah, we have been running on the testnet for some years now. and we have been growing slow and steady, a loyal community, and we've also been doing other growth campaigns and partnerships that users join. We currently sitting with around our top three social medias, which is X, Discord, and Telegram. We are a little bit over 100k followers. In terms of registrations, we have over 60k registered users while still being on the testnet. But yeah, this is all in preparation towards the mainnet launch that will happen within weeks. So we are really aiming to be live really soon, and there is still a chance for you to still be rewarded as an early adopter. So how we've been rewarding these players that joined us 2 years ago, for example, when we were starting to grow our community on a serious manner, if you could say it like this, we have launched a launch airdrop, which basically rewards players that played any of the Qudo adhering games before we launch it on the mainnet, and you can still be part of that if you play any Qudo adhering game before the mainnet launch, like Tribes, the game that we are going to play today, is one of the cases. And how it rewards is we are rewarding based on account age and account activity. So doesn't matter how many test tokens you have, because we have been optimizing the tokens that are released each minute to the player. So that will not count and wouldn't be fair for older users. But you can already play and you can check in real time your current placement and know how many Kudo mainnet tokens you'll get if you were going to launch now. So there is still 1 or 2 weeks, and not say much more, that you can play before we make the actual mainnet launch announcement. Go there, register. Yeah, there is still a few weeks that you can play and climb the ladder to increase your launch airdrop.
Okay, guys, you've had it right straight from the horse mouth. That's some straight alpha there. That the mainnet for the Kudonet is actually coming soon, but you are not late, and you can still there's still ample time for you to try games out. Try a lot of games, right? A gamer is supposed to try games, so try to play games, try to, just for fun. And also, one good thing about Web3 is that which is also what we're trying to do, here at gaming, is we're trying to bring as many opportunities to empower gamers so that gaming goes from what you do for passion, for the love. We understand that's the part of it, but we're also introducing people to the opportunity of actually making something out of the games, right? Actually monetizing their game time. Okay, and this is yet another opportunity for you to go engage with the game, and possibly you can actually get a reward. And also with activities like this where we have rewards, from this project. So all you just need to do is to go check the game, download the gaming app if you haven't. The game is newly launched, so it should be on the first. When you go to the gaming homepage, it should be among the first list of game you see there. We purposely put it there for a reason. So the Tribes is the name of the game, the Tribes. Okay, it shouldn't be hard to spot. You can see it on your playing on your screen. All right, let's talk about the game proper, right? So I have my second screen over here. So Vadi, can you walk us through, what's happening? Luca, can you go over to the homepage? Probably. So what happens when someone actually gets into the game, right? Let's say you're from the first time user POV. What actually happens when you launch the game, and how do they navigate, across the game?
Is it already live? Can I see the stream here on Discord?
Yeah, yeah, we're on YouTube, and Luca, we're supposed to share. Can you share your screen also for the Discord audience?
Okay, got it. I'm opening now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, this is the first thing that you'll see once you open the Tribes game. One thing that you will not see, but I'm sure Luke already did it, is if you see on your top right, you'll have the button to log in with your Kudo account. This you must be logged in if you want to keep accumulating Kudo tokens once we are on the mainnet, and also to be accumulating gameplay activity to improve your airdrop launch. So you need to make sure that you are logged into your Kudo account, and also to be able to import your own weapons that you'll be doing on Garage, which I just talked with Luca, so we might have a surprise for you guys. And the game is simple. You have the custom button and the play button. You have weapons on your top left, where you check your weapons that you already integrated, that you created and imported to your account. And the game has three game modes. It is free for all, team deathmatch, and capture the flag. And there are three maps: parking lot, festival, and also shipyard. So there is a lot of things that you can already explore depending on if you like more team-based games or if you just want to kill everything that appears in your way. There's something for everyone. And the theme of the game, that's why we call it tribes, there is six distinct tribes in the game. You have the blues tribes, you have the metal tribe, EDM tribe, country tribe, pop tribe, and the list, I think, is I'm only missing one. And yeah, these tribes that you can pick, it will represent a genre of style or a genre of music. And while you're playing, you'll see the music that matches that tribe, and also some voices from the character itself that it represents that tribe. So you can choose the tribe that you identify the most or the one that you like more, and you try to attack the other ones that are from another tribe. Uh, we'll be adding new maps and the different game modes in the future, but for now we want to explore the core part of the game, which is to incentivize the community to create their own creations and bring the weapons to the game. And trust me, we have seen some crazy things on the platform. We have seen grenades that are the Trump heads,
Oh,
that really literally the Trump head. We have been seeing weapons that are just chickens. We are seeing a lot of things that people are being having fun with it. So it is totally up to the users to create and have fun with it. So be creative, bring things, and hopefully I also will see you in game and play along and show you a few things that I created myself. But yeah, I think it is supposed for us to start the gameplay along.
yeah. Yeah, shortly after the call, we will start. So, speaking of the play along, so I believe there's actually a sort of setting to enable group play within the game.
Mhm.
So I believe you can do that by I think clicking the custom button. So can you walk us through how let's say I want to play with three or four of my friends. How do I go about that?
So yeah, just go to the custom. You press create. I think it's create game.
Luca, can you
I think it's
tell
create the
that
game.
as well?
Yeah, I can go walk you through if you want to create to play with your friends.
Okay. Let's create
Okay.
a room. Yeah, let's create a server. So that you know,
Let's let's create a game in server.
yeah, for the live play along, that'll be great as well.
Look,
So
are you sharing? I think I need
yeah,
us to watch on YouTube.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, okay. I'm just opening on YouTube to follow. So yeah, you just created. Now you have the option to limit the amount of players on the right. You can choose the map that you want. Just press play, and there you go. Choose the tribe that you want on your bottom left,
Mm-hmm.
or just go with the one you want. If you want, you can go with the country one.
Okay.
By the way, I'm following it on YouTube. It's not on Discord.
Yeah, sure. Luca, please create a room and share the link, the name of the room. We'll also be sharing the name of the room so that you guys, watching us can actually join and play along. So make sure you're downloading, the gaming platform right now to speak before we end. And speaking of ending, one last thing, for the community just to know. So, Vadi, where can the community find you? Where are you guys active? Are you active on X or more on Discord or IG or whatever? So, where can the audience find you
We are
guys?
So we are more active on our Telegram and X, and we are now starting to be more active on Discord. So Discord, Telegram, X are our three main ones. Is where you can find the latest announcements on our site, where we do challenge every week, where we give small prizes to people to join in and engage. But things are going to scale a lot over the next weeks because we have a really big campaign towards our mainnet launch. So it's gonna I think that's gonna scale really quick. So far, we kind of call it the quiet before the storm. At least this is how I'm feeling it. So you can already join our channels and be ready for all the amazing things that we'll be doing towards our mainnet launch. We already have a centralized exchange confirmed that I cannot yet reveal, and we're finalizing with Launchpad. So we're gonna have a lot of news really soon. So feel free to join in and still climb the airdrop while you can. And this is our website. I didn't add the, and this is the gaming platform that you can find all the games that are listed with Qudo, but you can also check them on the gaming platform itself where you can find tribes. If you are more a PC player, if you are a mobile player, there are other games at games.co.io as well. I see that Luca is already playing and being killed. I'll also share it on our side.
Okay, good thing to know that the players can actually locate you guys within the within the game itself. So you can actually, when you launch the game, you can actually locate all the channels that the Kudo community is active on for more updates. And we also
Mhm.
look forward to bringing more campaigns, collaborating with, in fact, you can expect more from Kudo because we have a lot in common. And this launching the game on the gaming platform is actually a start to you know even more things we could potentially build together. So make sure to stay in touch, make sure you're actually following the gaming community and also the Kudo community to stay on top of every update. All right, guys. So now we're gonna end the AMA section, but not the entire, thing. So we're gonna have the live play along here on Discord. So I'm currently on Discord. So if you're actually on YouTube watching us, so come over to Discord for the live play along. And if you're also watching us from X, wow, we have right over 60 people watching us on X alone. So I always, appreciate our X audience. Thanks, guys. Come over to Discord, to our Discord channel, and for the live play along. So go over to the app. Vadi just demoed, how to locate the server. So go open the app. You see the custom. So from there you can choose the live play along room. So the room is game time. So you see it in the list of the active rooms. So game time is the room. So join. You find Luca there, and you also find Vadi there, and may the best winner win. And speaking of yeah, speaking of the giveaway, so the code for the giveaway today is blood, right? So I mean, the name of the game is the tribe. So what actually binds tribes together is actually blood. So blood is the code of the day for the form. So make sure to fill it in the form, and we'll also be sharing this at the end, at the end of the play along for those who just join, for the play along. So blood is the code for today. Make sure to fill in the form and play along, and hopefully you'll get to be among the winners. So here we end the stream for YouTube and you know for YouTube and X audience. So make sure to join game time. Game time is the game of the room for the live play along. So Vadi and Luca will be there to play with you for the next 30 minutes or so. Okay. Vadi, any closing notes before we close the AMA section, the question and answer session proper?
Just know that the AMA doesn't end here. You can still DM me, or even I will be on our Kudo Discord. I can answer all the questions. I will be also stopping by from time to time on the gaming Discord server too, and I can also answer some of your questions. If I don't answer right away, feel free to ping me, and as soon as I have some time, I will go there and answer you guys. So if you need any support on the Kudo side, I'm here, so don't be shy.
Okay. All right, guys. And if you want to get in touch with Kudo, the Kudo was actually, tagged on the announcement of this AMA. So at Kudo Coin. So you can actually reach out if you want to reach out to the developers, possibly for any sort of partnership or anything of that sort. But yeah, to play the game right now for the live play along, kindly join the section on the gaming platform proper on Discord. Okay. Yes, we'll come to the end of the session and see you guys on the next episode of the Game Time. Cheers.
Right.